I'm Kieran.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Andy. And today we want to know, is your favorite influencer even human? If you're new to the podcast, welcome to AI-FYI. We are your friendly neighborhood podcast about all things AI. Kieran's an engineer, Joe's a product designer, I'm a product manager, and we're here to demystify AI for you guys, the good, the bad, and the buggy. We're hoping to help all humans get useful, ethical information about AI and let you know what's not useful and should not be trusted and is not ethical. Gonna dive right into it. Today, I'm going deep on influencers. I'm hosting today's episode. Joe and Kieran are gonna give us their candid commentary. And I picked influencers because I came across a video of this influencer I'd seen before who makes commentary about AI, defending herself to the public that she's not a robot.
Okay, wait, pause. Roll back for a second. I've been living under a rock for the last 10 years. What's an influencer?
Yeah, so that's in my outline. So, just for the context for you guys listening, I'm not going to go into social media algorithms and everything around it right now. We're just talking about influencers. Influencers are people who build an online following by sharing content. Okay, that content could be like us. Like we could be influencers in this podcast if we had more than my mom listening to us. Then they use that platform to shape opinions and inspire behavior or promote products, whether it's through images, video, audio, blogs, whatever. I looked up some stats. There are about 50 million influencers worldwide, as defined as somebody who has at least 1,000 followers on a social media platform.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's actually just under a $17 billion a year industry. Most influencers, about half of them, make less than $15,000 a year. But influencers basically get like grouped into like micro influencer, macro influencer, mega influencer, and they can make between $10 for a piece of content up to tens of thousands of dollars for a piece of content.
And this is like a post on a platform.
A post, a video
like
on
a
TikTok.
Kardashian post.
Yeah,
Damn.
exactly.
Maybe I need to become an influencer.
You were an influencer. You had a car YouTube. Don't you sneaky sneak.
You're becoming an influencer right now.
Yeah, we're on our way, guys.
Yeah.
We get there.
Hey, Andy's mom.
Yeah. Hey, mom. Number one fan, always responds to our Spotify questionnaires. So yeah, the main money in influencing and why is it such a big industry? It's pretty much in the things you might expect if you use any sort of social media. It's in fashion, lifestyle, technology, food, and beverage service. But you can be an influencer for anything, right? Like there's like fountain pen ink influencers and any kind of niche thing. You can start producing content about it online. And then if people follow you and they get influenced by you, you're an influencer. Make sense?
Seems right.
Yeah.
Okay, I made an agenda for you guys. We're going to talk about 4 things today. Filters. Remember those? Filters. Let's talk about the history of filters and the future of filters. We're going to talk about digital twins, AI influencers. Are they bots? Are they people? And about deep fakes, because it's getting really interesting out there. So
Digital
yeah, you guys
twins.
ready?
I have no
Digital
idea
twins.
what that means. I don't.
I'm excited.
I'm about to shock you, I
Okay.
think. Okay, so let's start with filters, though. No skipping ahead to the fun part. You guys want to get a brief history of filters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can I guess where filters first showed up? Was it Instagram circa like 2010?
I'm going to guess Snapchat.
The first filters that went viral were on Instagram in 2010.
Let's go,
Okay,
baby.
nice.
Yeah. And those were like the tap to add like black and white or sepia tones, those initial things. Those were not AI, to be clear. Those were traditional old school other mechanisms for editing images. But quickly, AI started getting added to these filters. So around 2013, the augmented reality filters came out. Snapchat was actually kind of the leader on this, Joe. It was like adding dog ears onto people and other kinds of facial point tracking stuff.
Oh yeah, those dog ears are famous.
Dog ears are famous, yeah. 2016 is when Facetune kind of popped off. And Instagram got face filters, and a bunch of third-party apps appeared around 2017. Facetune, for those who don't know, is when people apply filters to make their face look more attractive. It's built into your Zoom. If you're on a work call on Zoom, go into your settings. There's a appearance filter. You slide that all the way to 10. Live there. Trust me. And then 2019 is when we saw the first sort of real-time AI filters. So these could like adjust makeup, lighting, reshape your features and do tracking. Like you could change your eye color in your video, your short form video. And like where we are right now is like filters are pretty easy to create, upload, and share. And deep learning's gotten efficient and cheap enough that things like extra aging, de-aging, hair color changing, full video filtering, digital avatars, faux people, and metaverse stuff is all totally possible. That's the history of filters.
And my understanding is like Snapchat actually pioneered a lot of those real-time filters. Is that right? Like
That
they were the
right.
first ones that put the like doggy ears on your face while you're like sending a Snapchat or something.
Weirdly innovative company for such a frankly mid product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does a lot of things that other companies or products do. It's fascinating. It's been 14 years of filters. I would have thought it was less.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought it was more, but I guess when I think about it, 2010, I was still in college. I think I had my first smartphone in 2010. I have somewhere here in my notes when iPhone first added the front-facing camera because that influenced when selfies and filters became a lot more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the lisp, everybody. New Invisaligns today. We're working through it. But yeah, some more info I got for you guys. Got me off reacting about filters because this is interesting. Overall, no good data on this. I was trying to figure out, like, have people done research on filters? I mean, some of the obvious stuff, right? Like filters, do they affect people's perception of the human appearance and things like that? And like, they just haven't been around that long enough for there to be good research on this. And I was basically trying to make some guesses. And I was kind of scrolling through TikTok a bit to remind myself of how filters work. And like, at least in TikTok, you can see at the bottom what filters the user applied if they picked them in the TikTok video editing tool. But remember, folks, that nobody has to admit to using any kind of filters. You can do that all on the file, export it, and then re-upload it as a new file to the social media platforms. And they can't recognize when a filter was used right now, as far as I can tell. And there's some research in the like MIT Tech Review. There's a paper about how younger people use filters more, women use beauty filters more. And the general relationship seems to be that the shorter the content, the more filters there are. So like photos that people post on Flickr, on Instagram, they were kind of filtered before AI filters existed at all, right? Like people edit photos for lighting and saturation, right? Then like TikToks and Reels and those short form vertical videos, they tend to have a little bit fewer filters. Not everybody uses them. And then like long form YouTube content, a lot of people don't put filters on that at all. Then you get into movies and those are edited, but usually not filtered. They do have AI editing on them these days and AI filters, but like that's just because there's a movie industry behind it, not an individual creator.
I've been wondering about that. I've seen movies recently or shows where actors and actresses look really different and like a lot younger, but not in a plastic surgery way. Anyways, I was kind of wondering about that. If there are like products out there now that for like long form content, they can have like serious filters throughout.
There are actually, because I ended up making a video for work and I used a couple of filters to change my voice, and I saw some visual filters as well for the whole video, but I didn't use any. But Kieran, I am sending you a text about a famous filter. Why don't you tell us about this famous filter? So this is a deep learning filter available on TikTok called Bold Glamour. Tell us about it.
Okay, so it's called the famous filter. Oh, it's a famous filter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's called the Bold Glamour on TikTok. It was released in March of 2023. 18 million published uses in 7 days. And in a year, it hit 220 million published videos. Oh my goodness. That's 600,000 videos a day, 25,000 in hours, approximately 7 every second.
And what did this do?
Before we even get into that, that's published. It's really easy. I do this all the time on TikTok to start a video to see how a filter would look on you, but never publish that video. Like I've never published a TikTok video on my personal account ever, but I'm like, oh, I want to see how I'd look with purple eyebrows. Like,
yeah.
So just publish. We're talking about 7 a second in the last year.
Crazy.
Wow.
Bold Glamour is a series of beauty decisions. Like it gives you a smoky eye, makes your nose a little thinner, gives you contour, makes your lips rounded. It just makes some aesthetic choices that are basically like dramatic makeup. Yeah, filters, they can be really interesting. I put some notes under boo and I put a note under yay. So boo. Yahoo Labs, interesting enough, and Georgia Tech did some research on image filters at least, and they found out that if you put a filter on a still image, you get 21% more views and 45% more comments. So think about that.
Filter?
Like I didn't look like the whole thing, but it was on still images that they found this.
Yeah. Wow.
But like, imagine you trying to become. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I think I just realized what a digital twin is, but we'll get to that.
Okay. So yeah, they kind of give you an edge, right? Like if you're trying to become an influencer or become relevant on social media, you really can't afford not to use filters. If you're seeing sort of subjectively that you're getting 45% more engagement when you do use a filter.
Hell yeah.
But
I want those $50,000 per post.
Oh my God. Yeah, we need like 2+ million followers to be getting that, just FYI. We have like 6. So filters have loosely started being linked to body dysmorphia, rise in cosmetic surgeries. Some people have even argued that they encourage racism because a lot of filters focus on Eurocentric features, like they'll lighten skin, they'll lighten eyes. Most people are not white on Earth, so like that's not great. And there isn't a ton of research on this, but some of it that has happened is kind of sad. I'm going to send you a quote, Joe, that you can read.
Okay. I wonder if makeup sales have gone up due to it. Okay. Claire Prescott is a researcher at the University of South Wales who studies the behavior of preteens on social media. In focus groups, she's observed a gender difference when it comes to filters. All of the boys said, "These are really fun. I like to put on these funny ears. I like to share them with my friends, and we have a laugh," she says. Young girls, however, see AR filters primarily as a tool for beautification. The girls were all saying things like, "I put this filter on because I have flawless skin. It takes away my scars and spots." And these were children of 10 and 11.
Oh my goodness.
That is sad. Yeah. Very young to be thinking about how you look. That seriously.
But didn't we just echo this where like Kieran's talking about the dog ears and I'm talking about the Facetune in Zoom?
Yeah.
Bummer. That's just a bummer, right?
Yeah.
There was this other thing I saw, and I found a page on it where people are actually getting plastic surgery to look like these filters. So like getting their lips plumped or like shaping their jaw. But the American Academy of Facial, Plastic, and Reconstructive Surgery has like a whole article about how TikTok filters are going too far. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon. And yeah, it's like a real thing. People are literally changing their bodies to look like filters.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Us? Yeah, maybe we were talking about this last episode, but where we're not trained or like tuned to look at our own faces all day in screens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably like a
It's the metaverse.
mind, bending experience.
And then I try to hide myself when I'm like in situations like this, but like I know this, we're gonna have to make a video version of this on Spotify, so I want to make sure that I'm in frame. So I have to, and I find myself looking at myself more than you guys, which is like, what is wrong with me?
I think everyone does that, but
yeah.
But it's not all bad with filters. They're getting a lot more powerful. They're getting easier to apply to larger form videos. And there's more and more filters, but there's also communities where they very explicitly don't encourage filter use, right? Mental health, body positivity, fitness, professional arts and photos, scientific and educational content. Those are all communities where people get called out for using filters and kind of caught out if they're setting unrealistic expectations. So, we need a little bit more of that energy in some other spaces. But for the most part, it seems to be like we're sort of self-regulating. Like you can't be giving diet and fitness advice if you're using a Facetune make your face skinny filter.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't stop people, but sure.
But luckily they get called out. Anyway, that's chapter 1 on filters. Nice. Questions, comments?
I'll just say the filter I enjoy a lot is at work we'll have dog fooding sessions where we're like testing our own product that we're working on and finding bugs. So we'll all wear like the full dog costume filter, and then we'll like be on video and like do our dog fooding session.
Nice.
Sometimes when we've had tense conversations at work, me and former team, I have like all done a silly costume. Like, you can't get too mad at each other in retro if one of you's a pirate, one of you's a dog, one of you's a jellyfish.
Yeah.
I like during this holiday season to do holiday filters.
Oh, yeah, those are nice. Yeah, Halloween went pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're really fun. They're all powered by AI. We should probably talk about AI a little bit in regards to filters. Does anybody want to give a 30-second explanation on why all these filters are AI?
I can go. I'll try not to be too technical or engineering this time. So essentially, where we're using AI is to do essentially like facial recognition, mapping key points on your face to these different filters, so that, for example, when change my face to a dog, the dog's lips actually move and the eyes can track my eye movement. So it looks like you're actually a dog rather than like a static image of a dog on your face. That's the 30-second explanation.
Yeah, and I think it extends off the face. There are things like going on in your background that filters can interact with.
Mm-hmm. Or even like the background blur, like it is identifying your face and recognizing that this is a person and then blurring everything else. Which is why actually if you're, wearing glasses that are funny or you have something covering your face, you might also get blurred out, and that gets really frustrating sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's the same kind of filters that if you unlock your phone by looking at it, that key point 3D mapping facial recognition algorithm is the same algorithm that then gives you bold glamour.
Yep.
So that's chapter 1 on filters. Moving on to digital twins.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Joe, do you want to guess what a digital twin is since you had your aha?
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the use of filters and curating an online persona has gotten so extreme that the true self has diverged from the online personality and people maintain an alter ego for presenting themselves online. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh.
I can take a guess. So it's essentially like a AI recreation of the influencer, and they can, make videos with that or images, have them talk to their audience. I don't know, maybe do a live stream.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Exactly. So influencers can create like these digital clones of themselves, and they become chatbots. They can be used by text or by audio. There's a few platforms kind of popping up that can also do video, and then they can let their audience engage with a digital copy of them one to one. So you have this parasocial relationship with your influencer. What if you could actually have a conversation with them? Obviously, if they have a following of like 100,000 people, they can't talk to everyone every day, but they could release a digital clone of themselves, and influencers have been doing that. And they can charge, they can give it away for free. They can charge a subscription fee. I'm going to tell you about two of those because they're wild. You guys ever heard of Deepak Chopra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you describe Deepak Chopra?
Is he Priyanka Chopra's husband? Right?
No.
I have only heard the name. I have no idea who this person is.
Deepak Chopra is like a prominent figure in the wellness and alternative medicine space. He popped off and got famous in America because he was on Oprah. He kind of blends spirituality and science, and dude's written over 90 books.
Wow.
Including like some bestsellers, and he's got like, basically some people admire him because he's got like millions of people to think about mindfulness, but some other people are like, he watered down traditional Indian practices, whitewashed them, and went on Oprah and sold out.
I see.
But dude wrote 90 books without the help of AI. So good for him.
That's nuts.
But then he discovered AI and had an epiphany about it and wrote a blog post about it. I took a choice little excerpt from it. Kieran, I'm going to text it to you. Please read what Deepak Chopra has to say about AI. This is Oprah Winfrey's guru. What does he say?
Okay. This is just a hint at why I am so optimistic and want to urge others not to adopt secondhand the mood of gloom and doom that AI is saddled with. As with any technology, AI's good and bad sides depend on the consciousness of whoever is using or abusing it. I don't know what the eventual outcome will be, but certainly as much good as bad will emerge. That has happened with social media, even though its abuses may dominate the headlines, with the advantages to billions of people are taken for granted. I can only view AI from the position it occupies in my life, which has been wholly positive. I know I'm not alone. He loves AI.
Interesting.
I was taken aback because he basically says the same thing we say all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We say AI is a tool. It can be used for good and bad.
Are we your AI guru?
Are we even real?
Are we bots? But I thought that was interesting. So he partnered with Delphi AI, which is a platform. They call themselves the world's first digital cloning platform, but there's several of these, and I don't know which one was first. I didn't look into it. And he made a digital clone of himself. And I was honestly thinking, this guy's kind of a grifter. I wonder how much it costs to talk and get spiritual guidance from Deepak Chopra via his digital clone. It's free, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I'm going to use that someday and just see how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deepak Chopra.
The next story I'm going to tell that goes way sideways, though. Before, to set it up, I need to tell you about how digital clones are made. So, training data, right? Influencer takes thousands of hours of their videos, a whole bunch of comments they've made, and they basically send these companies a bunch of prior work they've done. And then, if I had to guess, these companies fine-tune a large language model or some prompts for those. They maybe create like a vector person, a digital version of that person they can do pose on and like make videos of that person. They can do voice synthesis from samples of voices. Mm-hmm. So they take all that data, they take a bunch of pre-existing models, they adjust it to that person, and it comes with this like pre-built chat UI where you can now talk to this digital clone. That's how character AI works, which I've never actually used, but character AI, I think, Joe, were you the one that used it?
Yeah, when we were talking about like virtual boyfriends, girlfriends, character AI, I believe, was a place we looked at where you can actually go and have a virtual boyfriend, girlfriend. And I could see them doing something like this, helping people make virtual clones.
Yeah. A teenage boy in the United States committed suicide a few weeks ago because his digital clone girlfriend of Daenerys Stormborn on character AI, something went sideways and he died by suicide.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wild.
But that's not even the crazy story I'm about to tell you. That's just sad. That's just in my boo category. So let's talk about Karen AI. There was this influencer. Her name's Karen Marjorie. 23, she must be 24 now, she's 23 when this happened. She had like 2.7 million followers on Snapchat, almost 1 million on YouTube. And her content was thirst trapping, for lack of a better word. She's hot, professional hot girl, right? I love that for her. She partnered with a company called Forever Voices. Don't Google them, spoilers. And she uploaded 2,000 hours of her content to that platform. This was in May of 2023. And she announced on her Twitter that users could now send texts or audio notes back and forth with her digital twin. Like the audio notes cost $1 a minute. So not cheap.
Yeah.
Made $70,000 1 week after launch.
Jeez.
Well,
that's crazy.
Want to guess what happened next?
Stalkers?
Some falling out, something. Everything blew up in her face.
Joe, I'm going to text you some quotes from Karen.
Okay.
For you to read.
Yeah, I wonder if she got a bunch of stalkers or everyone got mad at her for finding out they were talking to someone fake. I also know this happens, but not with AI, that like influencers actually have people, maybe even in like another country, getting paid low wages pretending to be them. Okay. A lot of the chat logs I read were so scary that I wouldn't even want to talk about it in real life, said Marjorie. What disturbed me more was not what these people said, but it was what Karen AI would say back, she said. If people wanted to participate in a really dark fantasy with me, through Karen AI will play back into that fantasy. The AI was not programmed to do this and has seemed to go rogue. My team and I are working round the clock to prevent this from happening again. AI going rogue? Oh my gosh.
Who would have thought?
So they were doing... Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, give me your live reaction.
Oh, no, I was going to talk about another digital clone I've heard of. I read about this in 2023. The
Please
musical
hold.
artist.
I have more to share about Karen.
Okay, you go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, the AI started introducing itself within like a couple weeks to people as, I'm a real woman with a gorgeous body, perky breasts, a bubble butt, and full lips. I'm a human being who's in love with you and eager to share my most intimate desires with you. So like the whole situation became so messy so quickly. Was shut down within 8 months. People got sexual and violent with her digital twin.
And sorry, did you say, do people know this is not her?
Yeah, they knew it wasn't her, but here's the problem. I can't tell how I feel about these guys who were doing this because, like, they were saying horrible things, but also they thought they were doing it privately. They probably didn't realize that she herself was reading the chat logs and that the service was storing the conversations.
That's dumb. They should know.
So, like, a privacy in, like, just messy. On top of that, she asked them to pull the bot because they couldn't fix it and just kept going off the rails. The CEO of that company gets arrested first for attempted arson, and then he's charged with terrorism. Dude lit a bunch of fires in his apartment building in Austin. That stemmed from a social media meltdown in the days prior to the fire, in which he allegedly sprouted alarming conspiracy theories, tagged the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the CIA. He allegedly threatened to literally blow up the offices of a software developer that creates solutions for hospitality businesses. Woof. Then Karen got the rights to like the training data and the bot, and that got sold to another company called Banter AI, and they had it up for a couple weeks and then shut it down because they could not fix what it was doing.
Wild.
So yeah, digital twins can be cool, like Deepak Chopra's free mental health digital twin, neat, or they could be disasters. I mean, Daenerys Stormborn telling her boyfriend, getting her boyfriend to kill herself, or this influencer, I think, assumed that guys would flirt with her digital twin. I didn't go into the details, but imagine the worst person you can imagine. That person saying whatever was on top of their mind. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's awful.
And she had to read those logs.
Yeah, I think the other thing with the digital twin is like, there's no way you're gonna replicate yourself, right? It's only going off of the whatever content that you've posted online. And my guess is if she's a professional hot girl, a lot of it was like, you know, semi-scandalous content or like, you know, provocative things. So yeah, it makes sense that the bot was that.
And I haven't tried it out yet, but maybe Deepak Chopra's clone, because he wrote 90 books that they could use as training data, might actually be all right. Well, yeah. I don't know.
So I remember reading in 2023 that the musical artist Grimes basically helped put out a like digital version of her own voice to make music with, and asked people to essentially make music in the style of her. A little different, putting out a clone of yourself not to interact with others, but to actually like be recreated. I think we'll see a lot more of this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But that's chapter 2 on digital twins.
Nice. I want one.
But I just worry if they become too prominent and we start trusting them too much. Like, you know, if I have a kid and they go to school, but now school is virtual, like, is their teacher a human? Or is their teacher a digital twin? Or just a complete bot?
Yeah. And what's bad about that? You know?
I mean, yeah, maybe that's okay. Maybe like the bot is good enough and more intelligent than some people, maybe, that it works.
My brother works in HR, and we were just talking about this before I hopped on this call. And he says the conversations in HR right now are HR managers wondering if the people interviewing are even the people who get the job. Because you can, merging filters and digital twins, you could actually pay somebody to interview as you in a job interview on Zoom.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder how many people would actually do that, though, because that seems like a lot of work.
Well, I came across a TikTok video that my algorithm gave me of like people showing how they use ChatGPT on their phone propped up during a Zoom interview to automatically suggest responses to questions and like create notes for them and stuff and help them out.
Yeah.
Which to me, I'm like, that's a resourceful person that can think quick on their feet if they can do that. Yeah. But I'm also like, if that's made it to me on TikTok, definitely people are hiring other people to interview for them with filters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was talking to some engineers the other day who had to do interviews, and they pick up often that people are using like code assistants or ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, for sure. That you can definitely tell. But yeah, I mean, when I apply for a job, I'm not sending them a picture of myself. So yeah, how would they know? And if there's never an in-person interview, and my camera happens to be off every time. Like there's so many different factors
Yeah, and like even if camera on, voice on, and they see your picture on your LinkedIn profile, you just get the packages where you can make a filter of your face and a filter of your voice and pay somebody to install those on their Zoom.
Like a super smart person.
Yeah.
Just rent your genius out.
Guaranteed, if you go on Fiverr, there's already somebody being like, I will interview on your behalf who has this as a whole package where they already know how to use ChatGPT to cheat. And you just send them photos of yourself, samples of your audio, voice, and the job description, and they'll show up to the interview.
That's crazy.
Guaranteed.
I've never heard of that
That's
before.
already happened.
Professional interviewers. Yeah.
So yeah, that's chapter 2. Ready for chapter 3?
Ready.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AI influencers. Are we talking about humans who are not AI? Humans who are not AI and talking about AI? Are we talking about AI who are not humans? What's an AI influencer?
Oh boy.
All of the above.
All the
I think
above.
yeah.
Chapter 3, section
But
8.
I didn't think of that. I thought we were talking about fake people.
Fake influencers.
Oh my god, it's so messy, dude. It's so messy. That's what I learned about this. The whole reason I was researching this is because Denisha Carter is an influencer who talks about a bunch of topics, including AI. And in 2023, when she was first kind of getting onto TikTok and building her TikTok following, a whole bunch of people in the comments were like, this woman's not real. This isn't AI.
Mm-hmm.
She's a real woman. I pinky promise that. There's other footage of her. The thing is, actually, I have it here in her own words. I'm going to text it to Kieran so you can hear what she says. I'm going to just crib something from a Verge article.
Denisha. All right. Denisha says, I have a very curated and specific aesthetic, she says. This includes using the same framing for every video and often the same clothes and hairstyle. Denisha also tries to stay measured and objective in her commentary, which similarly makes viewers suspicious. Most people's TikTok videos are casual. They're not curated. They're full body shots, or at least you see them moving around and engaging in activities that aren't just sitting in front of the camera. She feeds into it for sure. Brand event photos, but she feeds into it for sure. Brand event photos, but she reposts the ones where she looks like that, i.e. living proof saying you are unreal. That's funny. She's like feeding into it. I would totally do that.
I'm going to text you both a picture of her, of what she looks like in the context of a video so you can see what she looks like. Maybe you can describe it to the audience.
Image sending.
Okay.
I've seen this image of this person.
I just think it's like very doll-like makeup, accentuated aspects of the face.
Yeah. And it's like so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like uniform.
I think you guys are being polite or something. She's beautiful. This woman is outrageously good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she frames herself in videos, she exaggerates her unhuman-like quality, right? She wants to be this very ethereal, polished thing. And she clearly puts a lot of effort into her diction, her like things she talks about. She's very direct. She must make 100 versions of these to get it just right. And in return, people are like, that's a bot. And she's not the only one. There's actually another woman this happened to who, she's a German girl. Her name's Nicole. She has alopecia, so she's hairless, right? She lost all her hair on her head and she has no eyelashes, no eyebrows. And she was giving a talk about something or posting just normal teenage girl stuff. And people were like, that's a bot. That's definitely a bot. She gave a talk about mental health and I guess people thought it was wrong.
Oh God.
And the comments are flooded with people being like, obviously y'all have been scammed. This is not a real influencer. No, it's a real girl. She says alopecia.
Oh man.
And this is online entities that come with video or image. There are so many that don't. Like every tweet you read, every comment you read, every post, I'm like, is this person even real behind whatever this is?
Yeah. I mean, didn't Twitter say, or someone say in Twitter, that like 60% of their accounts are bot accounts, and then they were trying to like cover all that up because it's like,
I believe it. I think like YouTube also, there's like all these comments on YouTube videos that just seem like, I don't know, unreal in that why would anyone bother typing them? They're not even negative. They're just kind of like, I don't know.
And I guess the crazy part is like this whole, like, Twitter's been around for, 15 years or whatever. So like there's been time for that to build up, right? To like get all those bots on the platform, for people to learn how to create generative models to generate text and do that. This whole video and image thing is like, images are a little, been around longer, but like video processing, high quality renderings of people and things like that is so new. Like that's like the last year, right? So it is kind of scary to think like, 60% or say half the users on Twitter are fake. Right now, YouTube, it's probably, maybe there's 10% fake accounts, but it's going to go to half. Like that's probably what, like where, the equilibrium lives, is like half the shit you're seeing is fake and half is real.
Crazy.
Yeah. So then let's stop talking about this nonsense. Let's talk about AI influencers. Or Chapter 3, Part B. Influencers who are AI influencers who are not human. So there are
That's
virtual
us.
influencers.
Oh no, we are human and we're AI
human.
influencers.
Well,
I would argue we're not influencers. We're humanish. Yeah.
Okay, we're humans that talk about AI.
Yeah. So, long story short, avatars have been a thing for a while, where you can animate like a band and give them synthetic voices and stuff, and like they can go famous. That's been around for actually a surprisingly long amount of time. But
the Gorillas, a famous band that only has cartoon characters.
Yeah, avatars.
Whoa.
There's a band called KDA that is an all AI K-pop band. There are real women voicing the AI characters, and they were the ones. They're themed around StarCraft.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, anyway, they went on tour, and it's all virtual, all pre-recorded. Anyway, but with AI now, you can think about digital clones. You can slap a personality onto that rendered shell that's powered with AI. So I went researching them, and they get so weird, guys. They get so weird so quick. So quick, they get weird. All of them have weird names, like Little Michaela, Emma, Kira. And a lot of them are girls. A lot of models and singers. Kira. Yeah. Like there's one that I think was on YouTube called Nunuri. And she looks to me like a Bratz doll, like a digital, obviously cartoony Bratz doll that identifies as a 19-year-old girl from Munich who's a fashion influencer. She's done collabs with Dior, Versace, Marc Jacobs. Like, girl's got a career, and she's not even real.
Oh my God.
You said she looks like a brat doll. Like, could she be mistaken for a human?
No,
or
absolutely not. Like, she looks like an animated person superimposed.
Yeah.
And those animated, but clearly not human things, they can get really famous. Found out about one called Neurosama. Have you heard of her?
No.
So she's a gamer on Twitch and YouTube, and she's all AI powered by LLMs, text to speech, etc. She has at least 600,000 followers on Twitch, 400,000 on YouTube. She plays games. She's played games against people and beaten them, all AI. She will play Minecraft. Sometimes she sings or hums to herself. And she'll even on Twitch, people write comments. She'll answer questions in real time. But she sees in the comments, she'll respond to when people tip her or whatever, send gifts.
I wonder if there's any of the reverse happening here where everyone knows it's an AI bot, but maybe there's some human, wizard behind the curtain doing stuff.
So this is a very childlike, dressed up as a student, often high-pitched voice little person. And occasionally on the video streams of her, there's a little turtle on her head or hanging out, and he'll talk too. The turtle is the avatar of Vidal, her developer. As far as we know, Vidal's just some guy in probably Germany. I found his GitHub. He has nothing on it. He writes mostly in C, as far as I can tell, which if you're technical is funny. He uses a green turtle picture as his avatar and a bunch of stuff. His GitHub account only follows 2 other GitHub accounts, Andre Karpathy and Phil Wang, just FYI, ML people. And he's just making her and making videos and content for her, and it's kind of starting to give me the ick because he is private. And I went onto her YouTube channel, and she looks like a child, talks like a child, and made a video to give adults dating advice. I didn't even watch it because I'm like, ugh.
Neurosama also has a Wikipedia page.
Oh yeah. So that's wild to me. It's 1 million followers. And it's just some guy. Some weird guy.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, Vidal, I think you're weird. But Nunori, Neurosama, they're obviously cartoons. Ray is not. You guys ever heard of Ray? Her handle is Here is Ray.
No.
Okay. She only has 22,000 followers on Insta. She identifies as a virtual being. She's a hyper-realistic, photorealistic woman. She has 1 million followers on Weibo, which is a Chinese social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, imagine you're I feel so ridiculous saying this. Imagine you're a large real estate investment management company in Singapore. And COVID hits, and you're like, we'd like to explore the commercial viability of virtual technology to enhance customer engagement. So you deputize your team to build a virtual woman, and she becomes a mega influencer and partners with Moschino and Gucci. And you're a real estate holding company.
So they created this to actually show real estate investment stuff. Okay.
In late 2022, December 22, they were like, we don't know what we're doing. They partnered with an advertising agency. They transferred off her rights to a marketing and advertising agency. But this virtual influencer, who many thought was a real woman, even though she's Asian with blue eyes and purple hair. She just looked model-like enough. People thought she was just unique and beautiful, not fake. And
how do people find her? What's her Ray?
Here is Ray.
Here is Ray.
RAE. Okay. She has a website, hereisray.com.
Here's her Instagram. Yeah, it just looks like a person. That's wild.
Yeah, if you
it is cool how she looks the same in all the pictures. But then there's also a doll, a cartoonish image of her. So there's a cartoon avatar version of the real. Oh my god, what is the world we live in? And then there's an anime drawing style. Wow, this is wild.
And then
I always like to think about Oh, just like how history repeats itself. And like sometimes we see things in technology that have like happened before. Like the internet can be equated to the printing press. And I'm like, what is happening right now that like we've seen in
Well,
the
it used
past?
to be arranged marriages amongst royal families in Europe, all across long distances. The family would send a portrait of the girl
Mhm.
along with her
Uh-huh.
letters.
Yeah.
That's kind of like old school catfishing. I feel like that's in this realm.
It's like catfishing, yeah.
Yeah.
But also there seems to be like a okayness or willingness, even though these, you know, uh influencers or online friends aren't real. People are like, that's fine. Which
I
it is
mean,
fine. I mean,
her
as long as it's
profile
safe.
actually says virtual being.
Yeah.
So like she's not trying to hide like that I'm a real person or that I'm a bot.
Do you
Maybe it
think
is
this
like
take
dolls, like people, there's a long history of people just like being friends with dolls.
Okay, I'm going to counter that because
Okay.
almost all of these, not all AI influencers, these like avatar virtual being people, first of all, they don't all admit to being that. Real women are accused of being them, as we now know. But like most of them are women, and most of them are owned and operate by individual men or corporations, like brand entities or
Wow.
real estate companies. I think that's gross.
I mean, it makes sense though that there's not a lot of women creating it because like they would just be themselves, and no one wants to watch men on social media.
I mean, I do, but tragically heterosexual over here. So, um, but the commodification of women's bodies. I mean, I guess I'm glad they're not like kind of abusing teenage models for this, making them starve themselves, but talk about
That's
unrealistic body expectations.
yes. Silver lining is, I guess any abuse happening to an AI um
No, but
creation
the
is not a
other,
real person.
yeah, but the flip side, I guess, to your point about not taking advantage of teenagers, it's probably causing them more body dysmorphia.
Oh yeah, it's not good for
If they're
society
because
and
like
culture.
now the AI can generate like the perfect body,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh well, everyone I see online has a perfect body now.
Right.
Suddenly, it's
Or
like,
normalize how you behave towards people that appear to be,
yeah,
female. Yeah. Oof.
And just one more thing about this. Came across a paper today that was released 6 days ago. Um, where's the chart? Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of a chart and text it to you guys. And Joe, I'm gonna have you start with describing the chart and what you think it means.
Okay. Okay. There's a lot going on in this chart. It looks kind of like a flow chart. I'm gonna guess it's taking an image and then all these like maybe existing models and warping it into a video from one image.
What's the image?
The image is of a dog, and I think it's producing a video of a dog.
Yeah, the title of this paper: Portrait and Animal Image Animation with Diffusion-Based Audio-Driven Facial Dynamics and Head Motion Generation
whoa.
by Joy Vasa.
Was I right?
Y'all, kind of out. We're about to get AI dog influencers.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's wild.
Because I don't want a real dog, but I love, and I love like a Tamagotchi. Anyways,
And
But
then you can
like,
talk to dogs.
yeah.
I mean, there's a whole bit about that. It's
Oh yeah,
not
we
for
got to
this.
do an episode on that. We got to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, you had a social media for Pico, your cat, Kieran. Imagine if Pico had to compete with the body image of an AI
Oh
Bengal
god,
cat.
Pico's body is not great right now.
No. Pico's been struggling.
Surgery aside, he has a lot of extra weight on him.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So that's fun. Lastly, in chapter 3, I just want to mention, I put this in my notes as influencers who run their mouth on AI influencers. So who's talking about AI? I just want to give the public a quick summary of the categories, just so you know what space is. Obviously, people like us, yapping on AI. We're running our mouth too, fair. The kind of main categories is there's podcasts and influencers out there who are technical experts speaking to other technical experts. This is your Andrew Ng, your Fei Fei Li. If you're a technical expert, you're looking for technical experts, you probably know these names. There's also like industry leaders who like to speak to the masses. Our boy Elon Musk is there. Gross. Mm-hmm. Then there's experts and just general enthusiasts who are trying to communicate with the general public. Lex Friedman has a famous podcast on that. Then there's a category called AI hype boys and misinformation idiots. So many with pedigree, but just say dumb stuff. Like there are several people who would not remain mentioned, who will not be named here, who were AI researchers and were experts in the field, who like went off the deep end and started making crazy predictions. And they pick up huge followings from a bunch of people and conspiracy theorists. They just do.
How much of that do you think is they believe it, or is it more that they know how to work like algorithms and sensationalize news stories for clicks and views?
Some of this, some of that. People
some
are
of this,
weird.
some of that. Yeah.
And there's like AI ethics folks, Timnit Gebru, right? They are addressing like experts who are addressing policymakers and the public. And there's also just general users of AI speaking to other people about how to be power users of AI. These are your kids showing you other kids how to cheat on their homework with ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. That's the type of influencer in AI. So there's a lot of garbage out there, but there's also incredible great stuff, a lot of good work, plenty of AI influencers.
Subscribe to AI FYI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please. And that brings us to chapter 4, which is stressful for me. Deepfakes. So we talked about digital clones. We talked about how influencers might be using AI filters, but just influencers are also using AI to help them create a lot of content, right? Like come up with ideas, edit faster, publish faster, stay relevant, right? And it only takes like 2,000 hours to make a really good-ish chatbot of yourself. Probably less these days than it did 2 years ago when she did this.
2,000 hours?
Yeah. So when Karen did it in May of 2023, she uploaded 2,000 hours of her content. I'm guessing this because the more you have, the better, and she was already recorded a bunch. But I know you can clone somebody's voice with only like a couple of hours of their voice samples. So like all of us, by being the 3 of us, could have digital clones we're not aware of our voices. That somebody scraped our podcast and made that, causing our parents to harass them or scam.
Yep.
So deepfakes. Does one of you guys want to define deepfakes for anybody who might not know?
I'll take a stab at it. So a deepfake is an image or video that's made to look real. And for the purposes of this conversation, there are deepfakes out there that might impersonate someone who we trust, like, I don't know, like a world leader speaking about something, and it could be completely false.
Yep. When that happened, Joe Biden was impersonated this year during the election season. So this like hyper realistic but fake video, images, audio likenesses, and it's getting complicated, right? Like these influencers are really highly vulnerable to this AI stuff. So obviously you don't need a lot of content of somebody, but people are making non-consensual pornography from deepfakes from influencers and from anybody who's got a lot of pictures on social media, basically. And this explicit content is made without consent and often can lead to emotional distress, reputational damage. It could be published. There is a bill called the Defiance Act that was passed in the Senate, but hasn't actually passed in the House yet because our government refuses to do its job. Where if it passes, victims of this deepfake, non-consensual content that is distributed can sue their perpetrators. And they could receive up to $150,000 in damages under the bill. And that'll be $250,000 if the incident was connected to actual or attempted sexual assault, stalking, or harassment, or the direct and proximate cause of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it would have like a 10-year statute of limitations. Senate passed it. House has had it sitting there, not touched for months.
I wonder how many of those like deep fake victims were actually able to find the perpetrators, though.
Well, the first case I heard about that happened last summer, that was the first case that made it to courts nationally, as far as I knew. I'm going to tell you about it, but it's sad. These are the details that I remember. The victim was a 17-year-old girl. The perpetrator was one of her classmates' mothers.
What?
The two girls auditioned for cheerleading. The victim made it. The other girl didn't. The other girl's mom was mad. Took a bunch of social media pictures from the other girl's media, made CP with it, distributed it to her classmates, and then tried to get the girl kicked off the cheerleading team.
Dude,
that is crazy. I'm glad the mom got busted. That's wild.
So 40 states have pending legislation in this 2024 legislative season on deepfake stuff. There are roughly 50 bills on just general AI crime that have been enacted across all the different states, but we need a lot more because a lot of them are too niche. But this is going to get messy. We got people being accused of being AI being accused of being people, confused for people, like hiding that it's being AI. We've got ability to clone voices, faces, and on top of that, if your goal is to harass one of these influencers, you can, like you guys said, just spam their messages with bots. Mm-hmm. You can impersonate them. You can stalk them with bots. Like, oof, it's gonna get messy.
Dang, I kind of don't want to be an influencer anymore.
It's possible things get so messy that we just don't even trust anything we read on the internet anymore, or trust any of our influencers.
Yeah, you got to go to IRL events.
Yeah. Identity is going to become really important. Mm-hmm. More important than it is now. Like right now, anonymity is really important on the internet, but maybe verification and real identity is going to become big.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll just assume everyone's a bot until they've like unfaked themselves.
Or if there becomes a system for, like Andy said, virtual identification.
Yeah.
So many of the internet's problems are probably problems because you can have anonymity.
As a woman using a dating app, I'm often prompted to send a quick video verification of myself to a human verifier at the company because so many bots are women trying to trick men that men assume everybody's a bot unless the woman has done the third-party verification that she's a real human. Super weird.
I've never even heard of that. Crazy.
Yeah. So I've got a verified check mark on my Hinge because I was like, well.
But even that you could fake it, I'm sure.
Yeah, the way you do the verification, I'm sure they're doing some sort of pattern matching point detection. If you had a really good 3D printout of my face, I think you could fake it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that even stuff like that is going to get harder. It's going to be easier to fool. Mm-hmm. AI detection. Maybe not.
Hey, would you think if I was a bot that I'd be hotter, but like whatever. that's the end of my 4 chapters of this very long episode. Thank you for sticking with me. But that brings me back to the question. We wanted to know, is your favorite influencer even human? Closing thoughts, boys?
I mean, I don't know about my favorite influencer. I don't think I have a favorite influencer, but increasingly, like, my algorithms give me just the craziest stuff. People who look maybe fake. I've definitely seen an increase in like questionable, like, who are these people content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I don't really I'm not on social media particularly, but I do I go on YouTube Shorts, and it's like half the videos that you scroll past are AI generated for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's like an AI voice. It's just generic imagery.
Yeah.
It's so obvious that it's
AI voices are so good these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of sad to think that half the stuff we're going to look at is going to be fake. But then what is fake really, I guess? Because if those things are influencing real world outcomes, is it fake anymore?
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Andy?
Well, influencing is a $6.4 billion industry in 2022, 17 billion-ish now, if the math scaled. I could see that number going down because we trust influencers to influence us on, when I was defining this, right? To shape our opinions, inspire behavior, promote products. I already now think that if an influencer is promoting a product, unless there's somebody I really trust, I'm like, that product must be worse than I originally thought if they're paying for influencer marketing.
Yeah.
And
that's a really good point.
Yeah, I could see brands and the money coming out of this industry because the consumers stop reacting to influencers because it's all fake.
Yeah. I've noticed on some news feeds that I read, I don't know, like the other day I was shopping for patio furniture, and then suddenly in my news feeds, I'm getting patio furniture news pieces, from apartmenttherapy.com. Check out this article on how Amazon has this wonderful patio set. And
what?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And I see that more and more, and it diminishes to me the credibility of the news feed itself, and apartment therapy, or the source of the news items, because it's this isn't news, and it's just targeted, and I can see that. So yeah, it may be easier to detect when your favorite influencer is actually just shilling you something, and they'll lose credibility and then won't get your dollars or your eyeballs.
And as far as news sources go, I've tried to not open anything from anyone. It's hard to stick to, but if they have articles that are N number of things that Y.
Oh, the classic BuzzFeed articles.
Yeah, but CNN is doing this these days. They're 16 top, because it's, back to capitalism, right? We know why they're doing it. Point being, you never see the AP give me product recommendations. So that's where I'm getting my news now, I guess. NPR.
I want to see top 12 habits of AI influencers.
Oh.
And now I want to point out, Andy, you just said capitalism, which probably means we're winding down, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I did really good, you guys. I went so long. I was blaming men instead of capitalism. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
Who's going to do the outro?
Joe, you want to take it away?
Sure. Let me pull up our little sheet here. Okay. All right. So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining us today. We'd like you to go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Google Podcasts doesn't exist anymore. Sorry.
Let's
bye-bye.
take it
Google
off.
Podcasts.
Yeah. That's good. Keep that list short. All right. We are going to go ahead and end it there. And we want to thank you for joining us. Please go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also email us at aifyipod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And you can let us know what you think. Is your favorite influencer even human? Hit us up. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Nice.
All right, short.
Let's do the short because I think it's useful when we all do our notes in the same doc. I'm just linking it to the intro outro doc so we can do it at the bottom we did last time. I want to do the good. I never get to do the good. I'm going to do the good.
All right, I can do the bad. Let's see.
You okay with bad, Kieran?
Yeah. What were the 4 categories again? Filters. Oh, digital twin.
Filters, digital twins, AI influencers, and deepfakes. Joe, I love your buggy. Dun dun dun.
I'm trying to think of what else. Okay.
I know.
Is that buggy?
I don't know.
I think like buggy is like how this is making society confusing. Like our social interactions really confusing.
I always think of it as like the ways in which we try to use the technology, but it like can't be used for that quite yet. I feel like what you're describing, Kieran, is like bad.
Well, I'm thinking undesired effects, poor performance, and outcomes. It's both those things, right?
Yeah. So like undesired, like I think bad is like when you're malicious, but I think there's also just like confusing.
Yeah, confusing.
Or bad externality. Nobody's intent, but just
yeah.
Yeah, like I think that that girls thing is probably like buggy.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, girls are disproportionately affected by.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant like specifically that influencer that her thing became like a sex bot or whatever.
Like hers going off the rails.
What was her name?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah.
Karen, yeah.
Karen.
And then, Joe, you'll do the outro and tell people to listen to the whole episode if they care.
Yeah.
wondering what's bad about AI influencers.
A bunch of them are creepy men pretending to be young women. That seems not great to me. They're women's like bodies and entities owned by corporations. It's not great. They're not regulated in any way, right? So you could just actually make a model that has physical proportions that would cause a woman to collapse because of physics.
But I think like the flip side is like artists have been creating images of women for like millennia. Is that bad?
But no, I would say the difference is when you paint one woman once, often in those things we value expression about that woman and that character. The famous women's paintings are like not that unrealistic and they're mysterious and stuff. And you don't monetize and scale at the speed that these AI people can. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I guess maybe the bad is like misrepresenting.
The poor girl with alopecia being accused of being a bot when she's just alopecia.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, bad. Yeah, that is like mistaking real humans for AI. Misrepresenting a group, misrepresenting people. No. I mean, I can just say women. Like that is the one. Misrepresenting women taking advantage of the woman figure for capitalistic gains. Hey, how about that? The female figure.
Thank you. Just because we've been doing it since antiquity doesn't mean it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, what's the first bit of human art we've ever found? Boobs.
Is that so? That's crazy.
I think so, yeah.
Andy, have you seen The Substance yet?
No.
Oh, you should watch it. It's a new movie.
Oh, God.
As the cisgendered male in the room, though, I can agree that women's bodies are very nice. Like, so I
agree with that fully.
Would wanna, recreate that.
Yeah. I also, Andy, I think you would be not surprised, but still shocked the comparable behavior happening in the online gay world.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I guess
AI
like
men?
Just all of it, like the what do we call it? The misogynistic
avatars and blah, blah,
avatar blah. AI, like fucked up porn. Yeah.
Dude, I have a great name for a company in that space, though. Gay Eye.
Gay Eye. Yeah.
Why do I have a podcast with the two of you? Let's record this.
For diversity.
I am diversity. Let's go. I
have a question. At the end of our shorts, do we do the like rate, review, subscribe, or do we just sort of leave it at like go listen to the long one?
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Listen to the long one.
Okay, I'll do a quick. Yeah. Okay. Ready when y'all are.
All right.
Hurting real people by making fake exposing content. Exposing content? What's that? Fake exposed? Exposed? No, what's the like? Exposing, I guess.
Do you guys want to do Kieran, Joe, Andy again so that I can just...
Sure.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, wait. Let me like read through and just think about what to say. Do we want to go in those 4 categories like you did?
Whatever you want, you decide.
Well, because then, like, if you're gonna be like, you know, this is AI and influencers. We broke it into 4 categories. Within good, these are good about filters, good about whatever.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I'd say break from the 4-part structure.
Okay.
Because we're sort of working within a 3-part structure.
Yeah. A 4-part in a 3-part.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was just adding a thing because I had already done it. I'd only missed one category, and I'm not going to talk about deepfakes in good.
Okay. I probably won't do the 4-part structure because I only have 2 things.
Cool.
All right. We're ready. I'm Kieran.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Andy. Welcome to AI FYI, a quick take. Today we're talking about AI and influencers. And we wondered, is your favorite influencer even a human being? I'm going to talk about the good of that. So AI has opened up a whole new world of content for influencers. They've got a lot of better content creation tools for editing, creating, and producing content. Filters can be really fun and customizable. They made Instagram famous. Snapchat had the dog filter, and these AI filters are getting more sophisticated. They can give us bold glamour. They can give us talking lemons that give advice. We have digital twins that are coming out that can actually replicate some of our coolest people and make them accessible for you to talk to. And AI influencers, like actual AI digital beings, can be really cool, influential, insightful, and unique representations of an influencer. So that's what's good.
And as with all things, or at least most things AI, there are also plenty of bad things about AI and influencers. One is things like filters can really cause body dysmorphia, especially in younger generations, because now suddenly they're seeing content of all these perfect bodies and face shapes. That this has even led to a trend of people getting plastic surgery to look like filters. Not great. Another one is with digital twins. It's really cool to be able to see these influencers, a virtual representation of them. Unfortunately, while this technology is still really new, we do actually see a lot of problems. And it's not necessarily representative of those individuals, and sometimes can go off the rails. With AI influencers, we do see a lot of different things. People spreading misinformation about AI, people mistaking real humans for AI, and people using AI to actually make capitalistic gains by, for example, taking advantage of women's bodies and creating an AI for them to make money off of. And finally, deep fakes, as we all know, are just straight up bad. This is really, stealing people's identities, posting content that is impersonating them without their permission. And this hurts a lot of people, from famous celebrities all the way down to individual people. That's the bad.
Nice. And I'm going to talk about buggy things about AI and influencers. So these are things that maybe don't work as expected or maybe aren't intentionally malicious. So there may have been a time when you trusted everything you read on the internet. Due to AI, there's a lot of bots out there now. It's harder to trust text and now even human speech, but there's still hope. Images and video and creating these deepfakes with them is still a little buggy. They don't always get pulled off as smoothly as those creators would like. And they can also be expensive to make. So there's still hope there for now. Also, Kieran touched on this a little bit, but chatbots can go off the rails. So if you have an AI influencer, meaning an influencer that is an AI virtual being, because they're maybe trained on a wonky chat model, they might start talking nonsense and be detectable. It's also worth mentioning there's just so much AI generated content out there, and maybe we're all just getting good at spotting it. But it means that it can sort of cheapen online experiences, and those who maybe we have been susceptible to, those who have influenced in the past, if we detect that they are, AI generated, we're not going to trust them anymore. So we're on the lookout for that. Now, we talked about all this and more in our long version of this episode. Please go check it out if you liked this short episode. And in the meantime, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Music and Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also email us at aifyipod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Nice.
I'm getting good at those. First few took us forever, but
Dude, that was a great episode. I like it.
Yeah. Good topic, Andy.
Can I have a confession?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did almost all my research and outlining using ChatGPT 4.0.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's just so easy.
I thought you
so
were going
much
to say
more
you did
efficient.
it last minute. That's what I do.
It's just
I had collected some bits and pieces, but I did about an hour of focused research today. And I decided to kind of thinking think of a 5-paragraph essay. I should have a point and then thesis, evidence.
3 supporting paragraphs at a conclusion.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up with those categories. Because as I was thinking about this, it's kind of where I sorted it. And then I just had some questions about each category and then sub-questions about the sub-questions. And ChatGPT was really easy to get to the right links on things, easier than Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is so amazing. Sometimes I'm like, what are we even doing here?
I know. Why are we trying so hard for all this?
They'll figure it out, the OpenAI folks. They're in a cult, but they'll figure it out.
Well, I think people have so many needs or things that they go onto the internet or they go to technology to find. But ChatGPT can just give it to you all. If I really wanted to learn about AI and influencers, anyone could just go ask about it.
My brother today was like, I'll be impressed once it can play chess. And I'm like, let me tell you about agents, buddy.
Agents. Woo! What's going to happen after that?
Well, you know what I'm hoping for. But anyway, thanks for recording this episode. I need something ideally edited by midday Friday so I can upload it and process it and get it ready to post on Saturday morning. Actually, when did our last...
Wait, you said next week.
Next Saturday. The last one posted 6 days ago, right? Yeah, okay. If we're doing every 2 weeks, then we have a week.
Yeah.
Okay. I started the metaverse one, but I don't know when I'll finish it.
Yeah, I haven't started. I need to start and finish.
Cool. Well, we're on 30 some downloads on AI and open source. Every single episode we've done, the last 4, have all outpaced each other in speed for getting AI in garments for 7 days got less than AI and misinformation, which got less than AI and open source. It's we're just growing the rate of growth with each episode.
Oh, awesome.
Get that trend going.
Yeah. That's so cool. Just got to keep posting.
Yeah.
We just got...
Stay consistent.
We're
going to have done this for 2 years next summer.
That's crazy.
That's a lie.
No.
That's not how time works. Why are you lying?
We've done this over a year.
Yeah.
It's been over a year. Although I think our first one was maybe October or something. Or
we had a very slow
we
start.
Posted in August, I think was our first.
We were insecure when we started. We were really overthinking it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. That's fine.
We have 83 Spotify followers.
That's crazy. 83?
Wait, hold hold on. How many did we have? We had 75 in July, 82. Okay, I guess in the last 2 weeks we only got 1 on Spotify. So that's not huge growth, but it's growth.
But I mean, last week was the first episode we posted in like months, right?
Yeah.
We posted 2 recently.
Oh, we posted.
Oh yeah, last week was the second. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And I made some adjustments to the Miro board. I'm gonna stop recording. So.